I can see that.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good stuff.
He moved that one a long ways.
Yeah, and this one came all the way in our face.
And this one's still way the heck back there.
Yeah, it's a little weird,
But
a little different.
It's in focus
It's in
today.
yeah.
You could definitely tell.
He was like, he's like, hey, that one's out of focus. And I know we fixed it eventually, but I don't. It was
late.
It was way late.
Yeah, it was after second break.
Absolutely. We are live.
Like I said, you couldn't hardly notice. It was just me.
Just
like,
you
look
all
sharp,
fuzzy.
and that's all that mattered.
Right. I mean, is what it is. But hey, it's big. I mean, not big in terms of picks for the week, but big news, mid-year review.
Hey, look at the computer. It couldn't recognize me as you.
Oh, again?
It never does.
2 days in a row or 2 weeks in a row?
2 weeks in a row.
But here we are.
Look at us.
Look at us. So
Technology be damned.
So let's start this one with the new drink of choice.
Yes.
Well,
Maybe.
it's not a choice. Well,
I mean,
you made a choice,
I had
and
two
now
options.
we have a choice.
had been more than two options.
What was the other options?
Well, I mean, I brought some other stuff, and we have a whole.
Yeah, I
rack
mean,
of-
yeah.
So,
But new old smoky mango habanero. I had it this weekend. I had it on the Sunday when we were walking around trick or treating, because that's what we do. The day before, whatever.
hey, I went on Saturday, so
Wow, really getting it in.
yeah. Sister was in town. She wanted to go trick or treating. Left on Sunday morning. Go to Bondurant. They got trick or treating on Saturday.
Okay, all right. But yeah. Let me know how it is for you.
All right, here we go. I mean, it starts mango, it ends habanero. Throw in a splash of whiskey.
That's what it is. Like a splash, though. It's not heavy whiskey
No.
at all. But it is a splash.
The habanero hangs on though,
It sure does.
like not in a bad way, but
That's why I said like if you could get this down into like a sauce to glaze some wings or something.
But like, why don't you think you can?
Oh, you could. You absolutely could. You absolutely could. Why did it do that?
I jinxed us.
I jinxed us. What'd you do?
Well, I thought we were having technology issues.
Oh no, we're
All
good.
right,
We're
okay.
squared
Making sure.
away.
Just making sure.
I was just getting everything up in case people want to chat us live, which no one does except for your wife once.
The 15 minutes she was tuned in, we knocked it right out of the park.
We sure did.
It's perfect.
All right. Let's get into our college recap. The glaring theme, since we made the same picks, tiebreaker, you got the tiebreaker.
I know.
So across the board.
So bad.
Because I did really, really bad. So what 5 minutes and recap. All right. So Ohio State, Penn State. What'd you think of that one? I thought Penn State held around longer than I thought.
Yeah, I mean,
Obviously, we didn't have them
their quarterback had
cover.
had his best game of the year.
Yeah.
Clifford. Jeez, I was completely drawn on.
Oh, I didn't know where you were going.
blank. Yeah, sorry. Played well. He's had a lot of hype previously and kind of died off, but he's a guy that might slide in the draft. You know, and be an NFL backup type of guy, or possibly make strides. But he had a good game, which he had to for them to hang in. Ultimately, Ohio State was too strong late, just too talented, really.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I never felt like Ohio State was going to lose that game.
No,
I never felt like they were.
Do you feel like they're still trying to figure things out offensively? Because they go in periods of time of not being good.
Yeah, I just don't think overall that they're that cohesive of a unit. And at this point in the season,
You should be.
I mean, we kind of are what we are, right?
Right.
I mean, we're far enough along now.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
So
You're not wrong.
I think the Ohio State-Michigan game, I said this, I think 2 weeks ago when the early lines came out, that at that point I was looking at the Tennessee-Georgia game and then the Ohio State-Michigan, and both lines were double digits for the underdogs, being Tennessee and Michigan, and at that point said that if you're going to look ahead, jumping on both of those early would be a great play, and I still think both of those things are true.
Absolutely.
Based on performances. So.
Absolutely. So we obviously took Ohio State. We took them to spread, which we failed on, but got the over. That was an easy one. This next game did not go any which way direction I anticipated. You anticipated. I think the world did. Okay,
well, nobody
State,
had them
K-State.
scoring 0.
Yeah. Okay.
They got shut out.
Shut out. What? 48-0.
Yeah, I've got nothing. There were no significant injuries during that game. That
They just
Oklahoma State just
flat out
never got anything going on offense, and
couldn't stop them.
Kansas State did whatever they wanted.
Big 12. I didn't assume they were going to stop each other, but I did not see K-State just saying, you know what, you're not scoring today.
Especially without, Martinez didn't play.
Right. So,
But their backup was better. Well, I shouldn't say better. As good as Martinez as far as operating that offense.
absolutely.
He was last week against TCU. We kind of hit on it last week. If he didn't get dinged up in that game, they actually probably win the TCU game. So
absolutely. Yeah, that was ugly. We didn't get one right there.
No.
Kentucky, Tennessee went by the book.
Yeah.
Tennessee looked good. They didn't overlook.
Kentucky couldn't score.
Kentucky couldn't score.
Right.
And here we are for the matchup going into this week, really.
Yep.
So we tied. So Ryan's got the shitty shot because he decided not to make picks. We even gave him 2.
God, I feel like he would have beat us as well.
Yeah, probably.
Because he's hedging at least one of those games.
But he didn't.
He didn't.
He didn't show up.
It
He
was
did
there
show
for
up for
you.
this week. So
It was
he's
there
got
for
a
you,
shot.
Ryan.
We both went 5-4 on the week. Now we get to the bets of the bets. Man, really bad for Stoy. I went with moneyline lock of Texas Tech. They didn't come close. Cole went with Wake Forest. Same occurrence. Spread lock went with Stanford night game. It was within 40. It's fine.
Yeah.
You nailed TCU.
Mm-hmm.
Well done there, sir. USC Arizona went to 82. That's just there's so many points.
You'll never learn in the Pac-12. It might as well be. It's just Maction West.
Yeah, basically. That's basically what it is.
Like that's how bad the Pac-12 has become. Is just the fact that it's Maction's little brother.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what it is. Florida, Georgia, you nailed the over. That definitely went over.
Yeah.
I took Nebraska and D-Gen pick. They were looking good until the quarterback got hurt, which was weird.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was his wrist. I know it was his finger for sure.
Right.
But then his
I feel like his whole arm might have gone dead.
Yeah, he just wouldn't move it from here.
Yeah, so
He did have a dislocated finger.
Right. But I feel like, it was more than just a finger issue.
Yeah, there was something else going on. And so since that, there was no chance after that,
Yep.
in my opinion. You went with Washington State.
Hung tough, couldn't get it done.
Exactly. So I have a shitty shot, which did you bring any?
Oh. Bet your buttons I did.
I know. So I got it for going over in the bets.
We got 12 new shitty shots in the
Ooh, that's a
bag.
new. Oh, I felt a new bottle. A different bottle?
I don't think you did.
Oh, okay. It just felt different. Okay, it felt different.
Maybe
on
you
my
felt 2
fingers.
bottles at once. I don't know.
But I got 99 bananas. Bananas. I'm sure that'll go with mango habanero. First one of the night. It's not my last.
It's not your last. The secret's out. We need some sounders for how bad these college picks were.
Push the sounds. Here, I'll put them up so you can see them.
I mean,
There's sad trombone. We need to add more. We keep saying it.
we need sad
Toilet
trombone.
flush? Or toilet flush.
Yeah, we need sad. We need sad
There you
trombone. And then give me page 2. And this is what we're gonna do with our picks. And we're gonna get on to week
Well, now we're going NFL recap.
Right, but we're going to
yes.
get on to week 10. Just forget that this week happened.
It's such a long-ass flush, and I love it.
If your toilet does that, please call a plumber.
Oh, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. All right. Hey, let's get into something where we did better at. All right. Hey, we broke the curse on the Thursday night, Monday night, although this Monday night, we'll get to it. Overall, on the week, a lot, still more chaos. Still things happen in the NFL. It's not settled. There was a lot more points scored this week than I anticipated across the board. So that was good to see. But open up Thursday night football with Ravens Bucks. What was your thought?
The Bucks are just out of sorts.
They have one issue. They won't run the damn ball.
All right, but
They did early and got away from it. I don't understand.
yeah, and that game was close
The whole time.
the whole time. I mean,
So run the ball.
Yeah, they just. I mean, I think
The play action
Fournette
was
got
there.
like 9 touches.
Yeah,
or
and
9
I'm pretty
rushes.
sure 6 in the first half.
Yeah. So I mean, the fact that he's not carrying the ball at least 15 times a game is just obnoxious. I mean, maybe they get back to it. I don't know. It's not like their receiving core's so good that, it's not like the Chiefs or the Bills where they can fall in love with the passing game because their quarterbacks are so electric and you've got a lot of weapons.
On paper, you would think their receivers are old.
Yeah.
And their route running right now is old.
And they're best suited to run play action.
Correct.
That's how you protect Brady better. That's how you keep your defense off the field.
So there's two thoughts for the play action thing, right? It's either run the ball heavy to set it up, or pass heavy to try to set up, which I've never, as a defender, that doesn't keep passing the ball and run. It doesn't, I would rather you do that.
It all depends on what's effective, though, too.
True.
Right now, even if you allow Tampa to gouge you for some running plays, they're proven at this point in the season. We're not halfway yet, so I can't give in completely.
Right.
But they're going to stop running the ball even if they're successful, or so it seems. I mean, we have teams that are going to keep running the ball regardless, and then we have teams that are just never going to run the ball regardless. So Tampa seems to be in the B boat as far as just refusal to consistently have a running game.
If they don't start running the ball, they're not going to win the South.
Right. But I think I was more disappointed again in the Ravens.
Yeah, I agree.
As far as just not taking control of that game when Tampa looked like a lifeless wonder out there on the field. So
now I think the addition of, and we'll get to it trade-wise, but Roquan Smith is going to bolster a little bit of that Ravens
no doubt
front, and I think that's going to help them. They need a piece.
I think it's just going to help morale.
It's going to help a lot.
Anyway, in general.
We will get to that. However, a lot of our picks are the same. It's funny. We went opposite in 2. It got them wrong.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yep.
We decided to go opposite in 2, and we got those wrong. So end all be all, we tied again.
Right.
But yeah, we got buff, and it went under or over, and we picked the under. So
right.
Thursday night unders aren't a thing anymore, or are they?
Right. I don't know.
Bears boys.
Tony Pollard. Point proven.
Pay the man, start the man, play the man, start the man. Get rid of Zeke.
You don't even have to get rid of Zeke. I mean, at this point.
Well, I mean, get rid of him as in terms of he's not your number one.
Right. I mean, he can have 8 to 12 touches a game. He's a good 2-back.
Absolutely. And he's a great goal line guy.
Yep.
Short yardage.
Goal line, short yardage.
Pollard.
He's just explosive, man.
He may or may not want to be my fantasy matchup.
The 53-yard touchdown run on 3rd and short. We hand the ball off left. He breaks a tackle, hits a hole. Zeke probably gets the first down just because.
Caught.
But
he doesn't score.
Oh, he doesn't even. But he'll fall forward for the first down.
Yeah.
Pollard is looking to
score.
Go like out the gate.
Yeah. Okay, I see you, Coach
out the
Charles.
gate.
I see you, Coach Charles. 88 out the gate.
Yeah. So yeah, he just showed exactly what I've said for 3 years. He's the premier back in Dallas. Needs to be, needs to clean up pass blocking. But besides that, I'm not anti Zeke because I think Zeke's played a really key role this year. But they need to get to where Pollard's the featured back. Zeke was out this week. You got Pollard as a feature back. He ran.
Zeke gone next year?
They can't get rid of that contract.
Yeah, that's true.
And they're not going to, I mean, he's still productive enough that you're not going to just waive him. I mean, if he was just complete garbage, then you would waive him, but you're not saving any salary cap.
Is someone trading for him?
No,
not with that contract. Probably. Yeah. Unless
you?
No.
I mean,
not in that position.
Kareem Hunt didn't even get any love.
No, well, apparently they wanted a 4. I don't know.
Chase Claypool is worth a 2.
It's a receiver hot still. Okay, we'll get to the trades. We'll get to the trades. Okay, come on now. All right.
We both hit Dallas there. Yep. Over was huge.
Gee, that wasn't even close.
80 points scored in that game.
That was ridiculous.
I mean, let's be honest. I don't want to talk about Dallas's defense, but you know what? Have a game where you just give up all the things. That's perfectly fine. The game was never in doubt. A couple calls went against us that were turnovers that would have changed
absolutely
the overall projection of the game, but I'm fine with it.
Also, I mean, yeah, we'll go with it. Yep. But I will say Dan Quinn's defense is, plural, usually do poorly against running quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. Super uber mobile quarterbacks. Right. So you'll see they'll give up more points to them. Mm-hmm. That was a little too many points to me, but that's all right. We'll move on.
Oh.
Pass. Next question.
The Falcons and the Panthers. You won the damn game.
It was a W.
And you shouldn't have. So there should be no heartburn from this game for you.
There's no heartburn. That's a pass. Next question.
That's fair.
They should have won by more than 4.5, but apparently we can't.
PJ Walker.
First of all, that was one of the greatest throws I think I've ever seen.
70 yards in the air.
On a rope.
From a dude that's 5'10", 180 pounds.
Everyone says it's a Hail Mary.
No.
It was not. It was a dime.
There was one person on the field who thought PJ Walker could throw the ball that far, and that was PJ Walker. Yeah. Because even the receiver stopped, which is why it was successful.
Exactly.
Because everybody else stops when the receiver stops, and then he's like, he's gonna throw that thing,
and he still had to dive for it. So that was a great throw. I'll give it all to him there.
And then he was so exasperated he had to throw his helmet off.
Yeah. And then there's things coming like an NFL ref said that it shouldn't have been flagged and everything. Don't throw your helmet.
Why shouldn't? I mean, that's gonna get flagged 100 times out of 100.
You spike a foot. You dunk a football. You're gonna don't. Right. That was dumb.
Also, just make the PAT, just make the field goal,
or
make the 33-yard field goal.
Make the 33.
So.
Anyways, which is
great W.
Great W. Embarrassing W for our defense again for the 100th
First place still, bud.
First place by a game.
Yeah,
we're game up.
Full game.
I will say one thing though. It is becoming nice to know that like in those moments we're actually winning those. Like, I knew we were going to fold at some point, and we did. But we're actually turning those and winning, which is weird. So I don't know what to do with it, but yeah, that's
Did you win that game, or did Carolina lose that game?
I believe we choked that game.
Yep.
Actually. Because we were up 6 with 34 seconds to go.
Correct. No, I don't disagree.
They had 0 timeouts.
Right. You choked, and then somehow they choked
twice.
They choked on your choking.
Choked twice.
Right. So...
Yeah.
All right.
Anywho, we move on. But Falcons have 4 wins. The over under was 4.5. Just saying, probably a lock. Don't know what to tell you there. Cards Vikes. We goon locked on it. I know we would have. Yeah. We would have goon. Well, he might have went under. Maybe, but I'm gonna call it goon lock. Vikes look good. I thought they gave up more points to the Cards than I anticipated.
Hopkins is back, bud.
But Hopkins
makes all the difference in that offense.
Statistically, is the best receiver since he came back.
Yeah.
Just saying. Which?
Guy's a stud. Yeah. 12, 130, and
he's pretty good. So I don't know what else to say there.
Yep.
Our Vikes fans not here, so we can move on. Pax Bills? Your squad? Your 15-win squad?
That's
cheap touchdown late sucks so bad.
And it really had nothing to do with the Packers. It had to do with Josh Allen out there.
Yes.
I mean, he's literally just like a cat toying with like a mouse.
And he just
does whatever the hell he wants. Like, throw a couple picks. It doesn't really matter. Just give me the ball back. I'll go down the field. And like, I'll throw this stupid rollout pass back across the middle, give them an extra touchdown. Like 27-17 was the final of that game. That game might as well have been 44-3. I mean, the Packers, you could tell by body language, never had a chance to win that game, and the Bills never felt threatened.
No, which is the bummer on the total at 47.5 was the fact that it should have went over by the Bills alone.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
And it just didn't because they were toying with them. I don't know. Maybe they're trying new things out.
Sure.
But man,
the Bills
Packers
sometimes struggle to do the thing that scares me about them in the playoffs is they struggle to do the little things well at times. Third and short, dumb turnovers, dumb penalties. Like, not a lot of them, but just enough to make you take notice of like, okay, that could really hurt you in a game that matters.
Right.
And you're not playing in a ton of close games during the regular season.
So you're not getting a lot of
So like it just doesn't matter yet.
Doesn't matter, so they're doing it?
Right.
And getting it, figuring it out? Or will it cost them in the playoffs?
We'll see.
We shall see. But the Packers look like doo-doo.
Yeah, they're just dead in the water, and then they made no moves. So
we'll get to the trades.
Yeah.
But they made no moves.
Bengals, Browns.
Oh, my. What a... First of all, the Bengals were moving the ball early, kept getting just turnovers after turnovers. Mm-hmm. So that was a lot of it. The issue I have, aside from the fact that it cost me a bet, but I did win some good money.
Way to hit the under.
Chubby, yeah, right? Was the simple fact of, I'm pretty sure, actually, I'm going to let you do your recap. I have to get the facts on exactly how many touches Mixon had.
Oh, gotcha.
Because
not enough.
It's the reason I don't.
What the Browns did, I mean, shoot, they had to run for well over 200 yards, I would think. I don't know. I'm just guessing that. I know Chubb went over 100. Hunt looked like he was running for, I only watched about half of the game.
No, 172 yards.
Total? Mm-hmm. Felt like more. Probably would have been more had they not just stopped bludgeoning them.
Running them over.
Yeah. So Cincinnati couldn't block Cleveland, and Cincinnati couldn't tackle Cleveland, and therefore it was 32-13. Also felt like that game should have gone over, and it didn't.
It absolutely should have. Mixon had 8 carries for 27 yards.
Yeah.
He had 6 of those in the first half, or 5 or 6 of it in the first half. It was 11-0 a half.
Mm-hmm.
Why isn't he getting 15, 20 touches?
Well, it was 18-0 before they saw the ball in the second half.
That's true.
And that was the first touchdowns that the Bengals defense had given up in the second half all season.
Correct.
And they give up 3.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when your offense is doing diddly.
No, yeah, I get it, but I didn't realize Cincinnati's defense was
going into that game. The reason I chose the under really was the fact that I thought both teams are just going to try to knock each other out, run the rock, because we know the Bengals have an issue protecting their quarterback,
right?
And the Browns, that's what they do, and I don't know why Cincy never went to it.
Well, especially with Burrow just getting.
He's got sacked 5 times.
Guy's been sacked like the most
many times
in whatever since the start of his NFL career. He's been sacked like 118 times.
And every time we say sacks, like, I don't know what the number is off the top of my head, but like per sack, he's also getting hit 2 times.
Right.
Like, it's not a 1-to-1 ratio here.
And he's not just a statue back there. Is the thing is, like, there's a lot of times where like he's actually able to get out of the pocket and avoid it. So it's not like he's Tom Brady standing back there and just like falling down, taking sacks or anything like that. Like, he's actually able to avoid several sacks a game as well. I mean, if you would have asked me, I would have said he got sacked 10 times. He only got sacked 5. So that kind of tells you he was under duress a lot, which
is not good overall. So, overall we went 11-7, which not bad. I mean, overall, 61%, solid. Let's get to the bets.
Sir, they're supposed to be green.
No, I went with the double red this week.
Double red. Is that another? Like, is that a double?
Is that a double of a double?
Shot?
I'm just glad Ryan wasn't here because that's a lineup for 4.
Yeah.
I don't know. We've never went double, so new rules into place. Yeah. So money line lock. Jacksonville decided to shit the bed.
Yeah.
I do not say the Broncos. I mean, the Broncos still don't look good.
No, well, again, the Broncos didn't win that game.
No. They sure didn't. So
Jacksonville ran for 160 or 170 some yards. ATN ran up and down the field against the Broncos.
Yeah, I will.
And they just couldn't put the ball in the end zone when they needed to.
Let's see.
Trevor Lawrence had
191 yards rushing. If you rush the ball 191 yards in the NFL, you win.
Yeah. How many turnovers did they have? I mean, it had to been lost the battle for him, I would assume.
Yeah, because I don't know what Lawrence is doing.
I didn't watch the game, so you can't say for sure, but
2.
Yeah. I mean, the Broncos have
2 picks. 1.
Yeah.
Early pick.
Lose the turnover battle.
But an early pick really.
Lose the turnover battle, lose the game.
Man, the Broncos still don't look good. They don't look good.
No.
You know how I know that they don't look good, and they know they don't look good?
They traded their best defensive player.
May or may not have. I don't know. We'll get to the trade.
Foreshadowing.
So I took Jacksonville and the money line lock. Didn't get it.
Oh, I had Baltimore.
Which I wanted.
Yeah.
At the record show, and we know that. But I didn't get it. Jets, I did not see them getting dismantled. But Zach Wilson, 17 turnovers. So
he was terrible.
It was. I wanted Tennessee. That was an easy lock. Your first 2 picks were pretty easy. Yeah. Over under.
I mean, you mirrored everything else. Might as well say.
Well, that's why I didn't.
That's fair.
Which I should have. Should have been just us.
In my defense, I do write mine down every week beforehand.
Correct.
So
I don't.
I didn't.
I go with the gut during.
It's your own problem.
So is what it is. Over under, I went San Fran and LA. That went to 45. I had the under at 43.5. McCaffrey, 2 weeks in.
We'll talk about him.
He is in the game plan.
Yeah.
Put it that way.
Especially when Debo's out.
Yeah. Well, yeah, especially when he comes out.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, they have the best quarterback for that crazy scenario. Not the best, but in their scenario.
Yeah, they have a guy that can get the ball.
It's the guy who needs to be in there. You went with Miami, Detroit under 51.5.
So this game almost hit, and it was 27-24 at halftime.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it was.
Right? Yeah, 27-24 I think at halftime. And then the Lions didn't score, and the Dolphins only got a touchdown. So therefore, it was a game that was at 51 at half had a chance.
But man, Detroit was up 21-7.
Yeah,
that they
might have been up even more than that. It might have been a bigger spread than that. They might have been up 10 at half even.
Either way,
yeah,
they can score. They can't stop.
Right.
And the Lions are Lionsing, and we'll get to why we say that later.
Yeah.
And then DGen picks. Boy, our first 2 didn't hit.
Nope.
So that kind of sucks.
Yep.
We both went Jacksonville Jets. They didn't hit, but we hit the Baltimore Atlanta.
Yeah, maybe we should put those 2 together, idiots.
Yeah. What a bunch of idiots.
All right.
So NFL recap. That was fun. Glad we move on from that. So, where want to go here? Do you want to go overall? Do you want to go to our news?
What do you want to do?
What are you feeling? Do you want to burn through and just get through our picks? I don't know. What are you feeling? Change it up. Switch it up.
Let's.
I mean, the college is ridiculous, so I don't know.
Yeah, let's just hit on this real. I mean, you want to just jump into the picks for college this week?
Yeah.
Not a lot going on in the landscape of college football this week.
Not a lot, but a pretty
the biggest game of the year.
Yeah.
So
not a lot going on, just the biggest game of the year.
Also, you've got the biggest game of the year and also the night game of the year, which, in my opinion, both of these play into the hands of the underdogs.
You do?
Yep.
Huh.
Because of how they're slotted.
Okay. I get the second. I get the night one. Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, if these 2 games were swapped, to me,
you think it's swapped?
Yeah. Like.
Okay. All right.
So
let's start with Bama LSU.
Night game in Death Valley.
In where?
Death Valley.
Okay.
Bama's 12.5-point favorites.
Let's back. I'm going to go back to your original point. Which game would you rather be at from an atmosphere perspective? It's hard. It's not you're not saying I'm going to the 1-2 matchup. Is it because it's a 1-2 matchup? What if it's 1-10?
Based on the teams, though, like if I'm going for atmosphere, I'm going to LSU because I'm going to LSU at night, and you have Bama. Your team is competitive enough that they can give Bama a run
outside chance
at night.
Yeah.
If I'm going for players that I want to see play live,
absolutely Georgia, Tennessee.
I'm going to see Hendon Hooker.
100%.
I'm going to see the massive tight ends that Georgia has.
They're
so like
huge.
That's like, where am I sitting? Yeah. If I'm in the stadium, have a seat, I'm going to LSU. If I'm on the sideline, I'm going to Georgia, Tennessee.
How about this? You fans make this podcast big enough where we could have went to both, or private jet it and just
right. We
not that far apart.
Slip into Athens for the afternoon game.
Yeah.
And we happen to slip over to the Death Valley for the night game.
Someone's doing that. There's multiple people doing that. Right. And that is a day.
Well, I'm going to do that just via TV. So, click. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, Bama 12.5 at LSU.
Oh, okay. Oh, thanks.
Sorry about the buffering.
Yep.
I don't know what this means.
Yeah, 12.5 Bama at LSU at night.
So if LSU at night is a 6-point stadium, that's 18.5-point line.
Bama's not as strong as Georgia. They're just not scoring at the clip.
They're not as consistent.
They're not not at all. Now I'm not saying that LSU can go score, although I said that last time and then they scored.
Right.
But I like LSU here at home
to win the game,
to cover.
There we go.
But it couldn't. But upset of the week would be the one. I don't think Tennessee has a chance.
You've got Bama.
Oh, absolutely. Got to ride with Bama, but I could see them getting upset. I'm not going to call it, but I can see it.
Do you like LSU to cover?
Yeah, I do.
So do I.
And it's Death Valley, and that's funny that Ryan didn't hedge this one.
Yeah,
interesting.
He's got the under.
He does have the under. Under here is tricky. And this is why night games typically are high scoring.
Mm-hmm.
But doesn't matter where or minus NFL. Don't. In college football, college athletes love playing under the lights, prime time. It's really hard on a defense.
Mm-hmm.
The atmospheres are crazy. Points are scored.
Yeah.
At 57.5, I mean, LSU's getting to 20.
Yeah.
20, 24.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's top. Maybe 27 top for them. And if that's the case, this thing's going over.
Yeah. I think this was not a difficult decision for me.
No. Ryan went with the under. His theme is SEC under, so
yeah.
That's,
are you going over?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah. It's 2 weeks in a row where
of course
it worked out well.
We're hanging out too much.
It worked out well last week.
We're hanging out too much in the studio.
Yeah. I know how he thinks.
He's sitting next to me.
Yeah. That being said, the only other game that matters this week, Tennessee, Georgia.
Yeah.
The earlier game.
Yeah.
Number 2, Tennessee going to Georgia. Georgia's 8.5-point favorites. Thought they would get a little more, but your point early. This would have won to take a couple weeks ago.
It was 11.5 a couple weeks ago.
So if you like Tennessee, that would have been the place to go.
Man, I can't bet against Hendon Hooker getting 8.5 points. I can bet against Tennessee because the way that I look at this is look back at the Georgia game. I look at Georgia as a
game.
Or excuse me, I look back at the Bama game.
This is the Georgia game.
This is the Georgia game. I look back at the game. Tennessee got a lot of breaks in that game.
Yeah.
And they played at home.
Correct.
Not to say that they're not explosive offense, that they can't athlete with Georgia. I have no doubt they can. However, I don't anticipate Georgia turning the ball over like Alabama did.
Nope.
And I also don't anticipate more calls going against Georgia than against Tennessee in Athens.
Correct.
So I will take Tennessee to cover. I feel like Georgia finds a way to win this game simply because they've been here before.
It's a valid. I obviously I got Georgia winning. I don't think that's in question. The difference for me in this game is Georgia's defense. I know Tennessee can put up points, but Georgia got to see Tennessee in multiple big games, specifically against Bama. And I think they're just going to throw some things at Tennessee that Hooker's not going to be prepared for. We'll put it that way. And so give me Georgia to cover. I think they win by 10.
65.5.
That's a tough one.
That's a lot of points.
That's a lot of points for me.
That flies in the face of, I mean, that might be one of the highest SEC lines
but
totals that we've seen.
I'm going along the lines of what I literally just said, so I've got to go under. I think Georgia holds them to 20, 23, but I don't see them scoring 40. So, give me a 37-20 game.
I see both of these games being similar in score.
Yeah. But yeah.
I think Tennessee can score as many as LSU can, simply because LSU's defense or offense isn't as good as Tennessee's.
Yeah.
But Bama's defense isn't as good as Georgia's. So
I'm seeing around 60-64 is where I see these games falling.
That's fair.
And that gives us an over and an under.
Yep.
That's where I'm at.
No doubt.
Absolutely.
So I have Bama and LSU with the over of 57.5. LSU is covering 12.5. Stoy has Bama, LSU covering 12.5, and also the over. Ryan has Bama and Bama covering the 12.5, but he is on the under. And in the number 1 versus number 2 matchup of the year in college football, we all are taking Georgia to defeat Tennessee at home. Stoy is just the only one taking Georgia to cover 8.5 points.
Oh.
Ryan and I are taking the points with the current Heisman
favorite
leading contender. Favorite.
Hey, fans, I apologize. I didn't take my second shitty shot.
Hey, no, you didn't.
So I apologize. At least I went up to it.
Well, we just weren't sure if
I don't
1 or 4.
I don't want it.
Another banana?
God bless America.
Lucky. You're like DK in Mario Kart.
Right? I did.
Headachy.
So, did you buy a lottery ticket, by the way?
No.
Was that a bill?
Oh.
My wife never bought one, so I was like, well,
Can't play if you
if
don't
you've
win.
never bought one, this is the time.
Can't play if you don't win.
Can't play if you don't win. Yeah. Take your shot. Take your shot. If any listeners out there know a very fantastic wealth management company, Black Mammoth, if you don't know them, go check them out. But if you win the lottery, hit us up. If you don't, hit us up.
Right.
But do if you hit us up.
For sure.
Or do if you win, hit us up. Anywho.
All right. Best bets.
Back to bananas.
Bananas.
I don't like fake banana taste. I can't be the only ones.
No.
Was it the runts? The banana, like the run. Oh,
Laffy Taffy.
they're not good. It's just not good. All right. Here we go. Oh, I need to go to DraftKings because I don't win on that. Been on a hot streak on FanDuel.
Not a baby.
Up like $400 this week. Some might ask, like, well, what were you before that? I am net 300 on the year, I believe.
Well, that's good.
I've honed in my bets. I used to like bet on everything, and I've realized that like specifically, I don't know if you follow us, but if you do, I'm better at NFL, so I'm gonna stick to that. Oh, and soccer, really good. Champions League, good stuff. All right, college football. I got money line. I literally have only gone to the good games because these all look. Wow, there's a lot of closed. So many closed.
I don't know.
Draft a bunch closed.
They're resetting, because I can tell you what the other game, like,
I like those. Was doing
Iowa was
research.
getting 4.5 against Purdue.
Interesting. That intrigues me. I'm figuring it out. Oh,
All right. Well, I'm going to start. Moneyline lock. Ryan has Texas A&M. They're playing Florida. He has them at minus 178, getting that victory. That game is at home for A&M. I am going with Washington at minus 188. They have Oregon State. Again, Washington is at home. Their Oregon State has crept into the top 25 at number 24.
so is Tulane. What the?
But it's just the way too early football rankings don't matter. I'll take Washington at home, and Ryan likes A&M at home. There's quite a few other good ones out there.
Yeah. That I like for like DGen more-ish picks, red picks.
Yep.
Like Syracuse Pitt. I like that one a lot. I'm going OK State minus 130 over Kansas. They're minus 2.5 favorites because they didn't score last week. Kansas is beat up, and they're
Kind of a redemption game for Oklahoma State. You got a senior quarterback.
It's
just a team that's not gonna. I don't see them shit in the bed two weeks in a row.
no, and cross. So I don't. There's just not much. Spready.
Plus 3.5 against Oklahoma. Coming off of a competitive game with Ohio State,
And they
looked good. They get slowly Indiana, 13. I don't think Indiana can score. I think it scores in the 30s or 40s.
It's at Indiana.
I see this being like a 40.
But
So I usually don't into the double digit.
Yeah.
But that one jumped out at me as just not.
also just decided to really bet on or against or any former coaches because it usually ends up doing the exact opposite. Never mind. Totally different ball game.
Yeah, right.
Action is we played for Drake University, and we've had some coaches that are all over the place. Head coach at Eastern Michigan, Christopher Creighton.
Yes.
Did not like his offense.
You got that J back.
That's a different.
Tonight.
Coach Allen at Indiana, head coach. Washington State defense coordinator, Coach Ward. What's up, Coach Ward? So we got some names around the pipe.
Drake got their first win.
Got their fruit. Woo woo!
Bulldogs.
7-point underdogs got the dub.
Got that dub against the Stetson
I don't know what
Hatters
they
or
are.
something like that, I think.
They also might.
Hey, you got to get one.
You gotta get the first one.
Yeah.
To not lose them all.
But you can't lose them all.
No. This will be the lowest Drake's winning record in. We talk about. We're talking about decades.
Yeah.
We're not talking about 10 years. We're talking about 20, 30 maybe. I don't even know. We'd have to look it up.
Since the program restarted as 1AA.
Yeah.
Non-scholarship.
Yeah. Me further. I have no idea. I'll look it
So-
up. I'm going to look it up. Research department. Let's do this. Give me Syracuse plus 3.5 over Pitt. 100% sure why this line is this way.
Their downfall. Lost 2. Look at 3.
We'll see. Yeah, go ahead.
Over under lock. Ryan has jumped into the Penn State Indiana game. He does not think that Penn State is hanging 30 or 40 because he is taking the under of 51.5, which is quite a few points if you don't think Indiana's going to score, which would definitely be
Big 10 under.
It would not be a terrible mindset going in. I am taking the Clemson Notre Dame over. That line is at 44.5. Neither one of those defenses is as good as they have been.
Clemson on upset alert.
Absolutely. But Notre Dame has not shown anything that says that they're going to hold them to 14 points.
Oh, no.
And Clemson hasn't shown anything that they're going to. So
I agree.
That line jumped out at me a little bit. Both teams have given up and scored more points than that most of the season.
They upset Clemson.
Okay.
I'm locking in our guess. We will get it done.
That's fair.
But I agree. I that one's one of my slide degen picks there. But over under, give me Texas K-State over 54.5. That's my favorite pick of the year. But 54 points seems low to me in a Big 12 game of that caliber.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Also, K-State's 2.5 dogs. I know Martinez isn't starting, but I don't
think it matters.
I don't think that matters.
I think we've seen that 2 weeks in a row.
I really don't think that matters.
Can you find me who BYU's playing this week?
Yeah.
D1 Grand Slam this week.
I am also doing it, so that's fair.
So games,
The hell is BYU?
3 out of the 4 games that we've talked about. But I am going with a 4-leg money line parlay.
4.
Kansas State
Like it.
to beat Texas.
Well, this sucks. You know why?
Oklahoma State.
The first 2 were my first 2.
Oklahoma State to beat Kansas. Clemson to beat Notre Dame. And Kentucky to beat Missouri on the road. Kentucky has struggled lately. That 4-team parlay will pay out at plus 945.
Are you going to put $1 on it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to put 5 on it.
Okay, cool. Would you want BYU?
Who are they playing?
Boise State.
So Ryan has BYU
Night
plus 250 at Boise. His DGen pick. BYU has been nothing but garbage.
Correct.
Most of this year, I don't see that game being close.
Okay, so my first 2 were K-State, OK State. So I'm.
Are you continuing on?
No. I'm gonna divvy again, which didn't bode well last week.
Oh.
I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm literally doing it because you said that. But give me K-State over Texas and Liberty over number 23 Liberty over Arkansas.
Okay.
That will give me a plus 942.
Liberty's not beating Arkansas. Stop it.
Hey.
Just stop it.
I told you defenses.
Plus 942. All right.
942. All right, let's get it.
There they are. All right. Let's jump into first college football meetings are coming in. Is it tonight or tomorrow night? The review.
It's Tuesday. Let me
Should be
it
tonight.
might be live.
Yeah, it could be going on actually either now or by 6 o'clock for sure. They'll drop the first top 25 for college football playoff rankings.
Let's see. They said 2 more hours. Yeah, it's gonna be 6 o'clock.
So it'll be 6 o'clock our time. So 40 minutes from now.
We'll get you live. We'll get you live.
But more so, just wanted to kind of jump in. Not a ton of changes at the top. We've seen a couple of unexpected things. You've got Bama there. You've got Georgia there. You got Ohio State. You've got Michigan. Clemson hanging on the fringe. TCU on the fringe. Oregon, USC, and Tennessee.
What are you getting at? Getting at here?
Thoughts, feelings. I mean, obviously, we're going to see a lot of these things play out. One of the interesting things that caused this thought for me today when I texted the group on let's do a recap or a repick is, there was this scenario where the top 8 teams all finished with 1 loss.
Yeah.
And then who you taking?
Right.
So, that's Georgia winning this weekend against Tennessee. Therefore, Tennessee gets left out of the SEC championship.
We'll back up. Tennessee was not in the picture
to start the year. No. But they would be. They beat Bama
Mhm.
because in this scenario, then Bama would have to beat Georgia in an SEC championship. There's those three teams all have one loss. Thing that would happen in the Big Ten is Ohio State or Michigan would either one of them would win against each other, the other one would lose to a terrible Big Ten West opponent, which therefore by default both of those teams get eliminated.
I mean, I would say that, but it's not how it works.
Yep. Let's say they lose in the Big 12 championship, so they just end up with one loss. But
How would they lose to? I don't know Big 12. I forgot that they keep doing
TCU would lose to like Kansas State or something along. Yeah, probably Kansas State, honestly, because Kansas State probably went out. Something along those lines. So they end up with one loss. Oregon wins out, so they would have one loss. So there's 7 teams right there that all have one loss. Who's in of those 7? That type of scenario. Or would have to lose in like the ACC championship or lose to Notre Dame.
I would have said this is
then win out.
Let's not
after
bring
that.
In the rest of the ACC.
So
here.
there's the
this
eighth,
would be one.
There's the 8th team with one loss. To me, overall, it's not that difficult, I guess, but a lot of it just shows to me it was like, oh man, my preconceived notions are playing a huge role into that, even though like the argument would be that if Ohio State were to lose to a bad Big Ten West team, then that's better than anyone else. And it's like, but is it? Like, you can't lose. If you're Ohio State or Michigan, you can't lose to a Big Ten West opponent.
My problem, by the time we get to championship weekend, 2 or 3 of the 4 are set, regardless of the outcome.
And they will be easier than what I just mentioned.
So, I mean, Georgia, Bama, like we're assuming here.
Right.
Georgia, Bama are in. It doesn't matter. At Bama to Bama is a question.
2 loss Bama doesn't have a chance this year,
Correct.
in my opinion,
I
because
agree.
the field is so deep.
I agree.
Yep.
Bama wins that one. They're both in.
Right.
Ohio State could lose to who knows who's coming out of the West. They're in.
Yeah, if Ohio State loses, if Ohio State beats Michigan and then loses to a Big Ten West opponent, I think Michigan should get in.
I mean,
especially if the game's competitive.
I feel the same. But
if the game's competitive,
but they won't because they're in the championship game. They beat them. They beat them 1-up.
But if
Ohio
State loses to a Big Ten West team and Oregon wins out, Oregon's in over Ohio State, in my opinion. Because their loss is Georgia.
In my opinion, football-wise, yes.
And eye test.
The political crap, no, because Ohio State is Ohio in a tiebreaker situation. I don't know their rules. I don't care for the rules.
That's why we had to see it, though, because I think a lot of it will come down to eye test.
If they lost by like 20 or 30 to a big, get them the hell out.
Right.
You know what? Actually, demote them to the ACC.
So, you're sitting pretty.
You're sitting pretty.
No, USC's not making it.
Why not? They went out.
You can't lose in the Pac-12.
I mean, true. But Oregon has a loss.
Yeah.
Not in the Pac-12.
To the number 1 team in the country.
Yeah, but
in the first game of the year with a brand new quarterback who has now looked like a stud.
They run it, beat Oregon.
Yeah. I mean,
Georgia, if they're 1 loss,
right.
Clemson's
they still haven't out. You're sitting better than I am.
I am sitting as well as I thought at this point.
Right.
Okay.
And Clemson is not, I don't care if Clemson goes undefeated. Clemson is not one of the best 4 teams in the country.
No.
They're not one of the best 8 teams in the country.
Replay the clip, Chris. When I said Clemson is going to make me, oh God, I wish I was slyer than this.
Because it's going to make me physically.
Thanks, Brad, for that. Gotta get him back on. Because that's the pick I had to make.
I
don't want it.
I remember the conversation.
I don't want it at all. But it's going to be Clemson.
Which, I mean, that's kind of why I went with.
They're not the 4. They're just not. I mean, I think Georgia gets in regardless. Ohio State's in regardless at this point. Not really. Michigan has an outside chance there. Bama, like Ohio State, Bama are still very iffy. I really pray to the football gods that they both lose. I hope Ohio State, Michigan. I hope Bama loses to. I don't care at this point. A 2-loss Bama and a 1-loss Ohio State with Michigan being undefeated would cause chaos. And
Okay, so records aside, we've seen a lot of football. We've seen a lot of
eye test.
really good games. Test, and not only eye test, who do you want to be in the top 4 when it comes down to it? What matchups do you want to see based on what we've seen so far?
Well, number 1's easy. Georgia.
Okay.
Georgia.
So Georgia because of what they do on both sides of the ball?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll agree. We'll both put Georgia in. Okay.
I want to see TCU win. I do.
Okay.
Because the amount of points they can put up.
That's.
I would like to see that.
You would like to see TCU. I would like to see 2.
I'm not saying TCU's number 2.
No.
I'm saying Georgia, TCU.
Georgia, you would like to see because TCU would be 4.
TCU be 4.
4. And in my mind, Tennessee would be 4.
Really?
Because
TCU is,
the other 2 teams are going to have. They're not going to have the loss if Georgia's won.
Okay, I'm following you.
You see what I'm saying? Like just as far as
you were going to eye test. You didn't try to get into. You said don't put in wins and losses. Okay, so and you went wins and losses. Take that away,
so if
I
TCU,
want Georgia, I want Georgia, TCU.
You want that matchup?
Tennessee, Ohio State, or Michigan. Actually, I really don't shit Ohio State or Michigan. I really don't care. Michigan more as a matchup with Tennessee would love it.
And I
can't argue it.
No.
What's your 4 that you would love to see right now?
I don't want to see Ohio State or Michigan.
I can see that. One of them's
one because of the inconsistency of Ohio State, and 2 because Michigan's best attribute is running the football. And I mean, while they're really good at volleyball, and I don't want to see that in a college matchup.
He's a quarterback.
It's fine.
It is what it is.
I would rather see Michigan than Ohio State, though.
Oh, agreed. That's why I said Michigan against Tennessee.
Michigan, Tennessee, I wouldn't mind. I struggle with this because it seems like they always just in big games. But I would like to give Bo Nix another. Like Oregon has looked that good since Georgia, but I just don't know if. So Oregon, Tennessee, and Georgia. Who do I want to see Georgia play?
It doesn't really matter. But who would you like to see? It could not be a running team.
No.
It has to be a high-flying offense. It has to be.
So I've got to go, as unfortunate as this sounds, with that matchup, I would have to go Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan.
Yeah. And yours.
Or how about this? I'll take Oregon, Michigan, and 2 teams that'll run the ball against each other successfully, and give me the rematch of this game that we're going to see this weekend, Georgia, Tennessee.
Which I don't. Yes, I agree. I like your 4.
Right.
I like my 4. I would love those matchups. They won't pick those. Yeah. Ultimately, they won't. But I agree. I just don't. I don't like the Pac-12 in these matchups from a defensive. Yeah. Literally defensively, both sides of the ball. Pac-12 can't stop a lick of anybody.
Right.
And they're really bad when people run it down their throat. It's that squared away from a scheme standpoint.
Right.
Like what are you going to do there?
Yeah.
And that's what's tough.
So you wouldn't change.
Man, they should go to like a 12-team playoff.
Right. So you're not going to, I mean, you wouldn't change your picks. And
I would love to get rid of Clemson. Would love
but like from a prediction perspective, you don't think Clemson will?
They'll make it.
So do you think you're still correct in your predictions?
Yep.
Georgia, Ohio State. Yeah. And I would actually flip. The thing is I can't Bama and Tennessee because I think that the loser of the Georgia-Tennessee game has a better chance of being eliminated than Bama does. So and then I'll stick with the outside chance that he can clip
Yeah,
Oregon.
I don't see you moving there. Now, with NC State, gone. That's why I read them. Stephen F. Flynn, baby, with A&M.
Yeah.
Those aren't making it.
No.
They're not.
No.
Yeah, obviously my hopeful was always going to be defensively.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not the case. It's
Is it a 3-horse race right now?
No.
2?
I mean, 2 because of name,
Stroud and Hooker?
but in my opinion, it's Hooker's to lose.
Right, but he's going to have more opportunity to have a fall in your face type of game because of competition.
I agree. But it's Hooker's to lose.
Is that the best player you've seen in college football this year?
Yeah. Well, last weekend.
I know where you're going.
Last weekend, I can't pronounce his name, but number 44 for Ohio State.
Defensive guy.
Single-handedly best linebacker play I've ever seen in a college athlete.
Especially for a team that gave up 30 points.
He won the game. He single-handedly won that game.
I don't disagree at all.
I don't know if they lose. They're losing that game without him.
Yeah. No,
without those plays.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's not enough to thrust him in. It'll be for this week, but long term, no. But
yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know. Is he a sophomore? On Saturday.
I don't know what year he is.
Yeah.
He just went from, if he was a third rounder, he is now in a first rounder conversation very easily.
Elite athleticism, playmaking,
incredible. And he made every one of those plays.
Yes. And in a single quarter,
which is
right.
He won the damn game in the fourth quarter by himself.
Right.
Like 2 touchdowns were on him.
Right.
Although, who does that?
Right. That guy.
And like
the guy we don't know his name.
We haven't seen linebackers take over games like this. And don't get me wrong, Will Anderson is a linebacker. He's not. Right. He's a rush end who drops off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 44 for Ohio State is a linebacker. He is like a true definition of a linebacker. We haven't seen that type of play.
Yeah.
I think. And the only person I could think of was Ray Lewis.
Yeah.
I really don't.
I mean, like I said, Ohio State's not played good defense enough that, like, obviously, but for one game, for one quarter, yes. I would agree with that.
Do we want to type these in? If you do, you should probably type.
No.
Okay.
You just conversation.
Yep. Yeah. Give me Hooker. By the way.
Yeah. No, I would agree. I've got Caleb Williams. I think he still has an outside chance. I still think he's going to get invited. I think Bo Nix is going to get invited. He's definitely played his way into the conversation. Stroud's still there. I think Stroud is overrated. He's just too inconsistent.
That's my same thing for Caleb Williams too.
Yeah.
Now he is more consistent than Stroud,
right? But he's also playing.
So
yeah, no,
they're in the same ball game to me. But yet, truthfully, the inconsistency between both of them is a surprise to me this year.
Right.
For what their
offenses are too good for them to miss and be as bad.
Yeah,
make as bad a decision.
Let's talk about a point that, truthfully, we've never been on that level. Most athletes will never be on this level. They're not playing this season because they're playing for a championship.
Right.
That number 1 pick, you're going to be efficient.
Yeah.
You're not going to make the mistakes. You're not going to make the overthrows, underthrows. Like, they're not making accurate throws. Yeah. I'm good with the quarterback making an accurate throw and a DB or a linebacker making an ultimate play.
Right.
Is not that interception is not a knock. Mm-hmm. It's these overthrows, underthrows, bad reads.
Yeah. Those
two are doing it at a clip that I cannot foresee personally. Steve had Dylan Gabriel.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho, so that's where I'm at with it. Right. But ultimately, that's why I have Hooker at this point.
Yeah.
Because he is playing consistently.
Careful who you say that to.
Wrong.
Let's check the news.
Can't wait for him to play in. Athens. What was up?
Takes us back to recruiting days. Whoa.
I said Bulldogs, not low. Okay.
Jeez.
I have no idea what you said.
What? Are we going to the news?
No, we should go overall standings.
All right.
Just get a whole overall recap. So for college, from a percentage standpoint, Cole is running away with it, 61%. I'm at 52.21. Ryan's at 52. Let's go wins. Cole's at 69. All right. At 59, and Ryan's is all misconstrued at this point because he didn't make picks last week. NFL now. Flips, though. I got 85. You got 72. So overall, I've got 144 wins. You have 141.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty interesting. Put counter. Luckily, I only had 2 this week. Puts 7. Ryan's at 10. He has like 6 to make up.
Right.
And Cole took the lead at 6. That's impressive. I hope it fails this week.
I am due.
From a schedule, I just want to scroll over here because there's only one thing I need to mention is how
yeah,
he had them going 4 and 13. They got 4 wins right now.
They do.
They're 4-4.
They can be oppressively bad for the next 9 games.
And they're going to win 1-1. They're going to win 1.
Even if it's on accident like last week.
Win. Actually, it's cool going games and realizing that regardless of who it is. And with the Chargers, Panthers, Bears, Commanders, Steelers before the bye, I'm going to put heavy money on they win one of those. And if they don't, they deserve not
that
to.
schedule is just not as daunting as it would have sounded at the end.
No. A week 14 bye.
You could win 5 games going in.
Yeah. Going in. And then you end up with at Saints, at Ravens, home for Cardinals, Bucks. And at Bucks at week 18, they could be wrapping it up. Who knows?
Are we sniffing 10 wins?
10 wins is on the table.
You win 10 games, you're winning that division.
Oh, yeah. Anyone in that division wins 10 games. 10 games is not out of the question. We'll just put it that way. That's all the highlight I wanted to do was talk shit about Steve about picking them to win 4.
Dallas has at least 6 wins left in them, so that gives them an 11-win season. So,
yeah. And the Vikings 1. They've got 6 in the going the rest of the way, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would say at least 5.
Yeah.
And therefore an 11-win season.
So I think we made good picks there.
All right.
Do
we get to finally do trade talks, or are we waiting?
Oh, yeah. We're going Twitter. Whoa. Highlighted. I got to put the thing down, though. 111. Trade talks.
NFL trade deadline ended today at 3 p.m. Central Time, and not without a ton of movement and a lot of excitement and several big names making moves, and some within the division even, which we very rarely see, especially in the NFL. What are you looking for?
I was getting through like the college stuff.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, it is what it is. I don't even have an order. Let's go to yours. I think that's the best.
Just at least give us a starter.
Yeah. Best graphic we have, although there's many after that.
Yeah.
I just go top to bottom, really. I mean, ultimately, old Chubby Chub from the Broncos to the Dolphins. That's been rumored for a while.
Yep.
They finally got it done. And rumor has it that they're doing a long of it. Dolphins have money to spend. They're in a window for the next couple years. I think it's a great trade for them. But it comes back to what we were talking about. Broncos are wrapping it up.
Yeah. Also picked up running back there at the bottom.
They sure did.
Because the
Niners didn't need him.
Good pickup, but they got rid of a running back.
I sure did.
Who they get rid of?
Didn't he go?
Drawing a complete blank guy's name.
Anywho,
Chase something.
Edmonds. Yeah. But funny backstory. So the Dolphins now have two. They're starting 1 and 2, or Jeff Wilson and Mostert.
Yeah, which are both 49ers.
Niners.
Yep.
Funny, huh? Mm-hmm. How that works. Chubb's going into a situation he's got to just love.
Absolutely.
Might take him a game or two to get the Heat. Just saying. Yeah. But that's a great trade in my opinion for the Dolphins. How do you think about the Broncos in that one?
I think the Broncos have kind of thrown in the towel for the year. One, you're chasing the Chiefs. You're not really chasing anybody else. I mean, the Raiders aren't good. The Chargers are better. They're good enough with what their record is that the Broncos aren't going to chase.
So
they got to figure out their offense.
They're a wild card?
Yeah.
They're not good. They're not a good football team. And this, to me, just tells, like, we're out.
Right.
That's what that tells me. T.J. Hawkinson from the Lions.
Yeah. The Lions, who can't play defense, but all year
said
of
we're going to give one of our
highest scoring offense in the NFL, or one of them,
to our division.
Yeah, but they can't win any football games. Ultimately, they got a second and a third, up a fourth and a contingent pick, either a fourth or a fifth round pick. So I think that's a win for the Vikings.
I think it's a good win. Yep.
They've got another guy that can stretch the field as a tight end. Irv Smith was supposed to be able to do that for the Vikings. He just hasn't been able to stay healthy. He just went to IR, which is ultimately why they make this move.
Yeah.
But you've got another guy that can help, if they want to start doubling Jefferson even more. Hawkins is going to be a guy that can exceed.
Oh, Hawkinson, Thielen, and Jefferson.
Thielen, he's older. He's still going to get the underneath stuff. Can still win, but I think Hawkinson just adds another layer. Also a good blocker. Take him out on run plays or obvious run plays. You can run your full package with him. Being an Iowa tight end, that's what they do.
Now the Vikings long term, they need another receiver. They need to replace Thielen. Mm-hmm. We'll see where that comes from. Ravens with Roquan Smith from the Bears. Bears were all over the map, man. They have like 4 trades today, 3 trades. It's crazy. But Bears sent him off to the Ravens, and I love where he landed with the Ravens. Ravens needed that piece. They've always had a core of a safety and a linebacker, and then some defensive end who are just hard-nosed, going to knock you in the mouth players. They needed Roquan Smith. They didn't have a linebacker that could do that. Right?
Yeah, I think this was just Quinn's the same way. I just think the Bears, we kind of hit on it. The Bears sent guys out who didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
They're a team that's building good young core, new GM, new coach, and they're just getting rid of the guys who they think may become cancers in the locker room. And whether that be contract disputes or disagreements with coaching staff or what it is, it doesn't matter to them, apparently, what upside or performance has been on the field. They got rid of Smith and Robert Quinn, 2 above average defensive players in the NFL, but got a decent amount back and picked up a guy on offense, showing that they're not necessarily trying to throw in the towel, but they're building for the future.
Yeah, as they should. They're not good enough to win a Super Bowl now,
right?
And they know that. We all know that. Mm-hmm. I just thought they'd do more on the O-line. Anyways, they're not there for that, but these two, what you just said, summarizes it perfectly. Didn't want to be there. Send them off. Get some picks. You're building for the future, which goes right back to Robert Quinn going to the Eagles. That just adds more depth to the Eagles' pass rush, which is already good.
Scary.
Like, I'm glad
if you're Robert Quinn
in the East.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'll go to the only undefeated team in the NFL. Thanks. See you later.
Oh, also, I don't have to play every down. Mm-hmm. We can all be fresh all game long.
Awesome. I'm in.
Yeah. Mark me down for 2 of those, sir.
Right.
That's more scary for your Cowboys, in my opinion. That's not great. But it bodes them well for the playoffs.
Right.
They literally could lose one of them and nothing would change.
Add depth.
Add depth. I like how we. Yep. We're adding Robert Quinn. Yeah, just depth. Add. Them and the Bills, their depth is it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So here we go. Steelers send Claypool, who also wanted out, to the Bears.
Mm-hmm. The Steelers too. They added Pickett's their quarterback. Pickard is Pickens. George Pickens
is their one.
We already got Deontay Johnson there. Just too many guys that were about the same level. Claypool up for.
They didn't have a big receiver.
He can do a lot of things. He's a very multiple, and that seems to be a theme in today's young offensive coordinator NFL. Loves to use receivers as running backs and running backs as receivers, and they got running backs throwing passes and receivers throwing passes to running backs.
No, not two running backs.
Receivers throwing running passes to
DBs.
Defensive backs and losing people fantasy football games. Lost by 2 points, and Amari Cooper threw an interception. So things I didn't have on my bingo card, losing a fantasy football team because my guy who went for 100+ yards and a touchdown threw a pick.
Threw a pick.
So,
you didn't have that one?
No. But, a good pickup for them. James Robinson, Jets from the Jaguars.
They had to. That's a need trade.
ETN taken over in Jacksonville once he's been healthy. James Robinson still a lot of life left in those legs, I think, and injury to Breece Hall. So I think that's a good pickup for the Jets.
Kadarius Toney, that happened. It feels like a month ago.
Right.
It wasn't. Great pickup by the Chiefs. I signed him immediately. I saw that he was there on the waiver wire because he was hurt with a hamstring.
Mm-hmm.
Weird. He's cleared and healthy as hell.
Not limping around anymore. Sir, you're limping with the wrong leg.
Huh.
Wonder what was your right hamstring.
Right. Wonder what that was about. Yeah. But I'll take it.
He needed to get out of New York. They didn't pick him. And I mean, he was a high draft pick.
Correct.
So
and Chiefs need speed.
Yeah.
They need.
If anybody can find a place for him,
they need to replace Hill.
Yeah. Hardman has not taken over that role for whatever reason. I mean, he's a fast guy, but he just hasn't figured out how to get open down the field like Hill was able to. So
this is their play on that. This next one is great. I have to throw up this. Not throw up.
Oh.
I don't have to throw up.
Your boy.
Calvin Ridley. As much as it pains me, because it would have been great to have him. Mm-hmm. Potential cancer, who know? And there's a lot of back office we don't know. But I love this tweet. Calvin Ridley suspended in part because he bet the Falcons to beat the Jags last season. Mm-hmm. Now, he's a Jag.
He's the Jag. Next year. Not till next year, but Jags duty need.
No. He's a Jag now.
Wow.
For us, anyway.
Yeah.
We get a 5th round, a 2nd round, and then the best part is we dump his $13 million next year.
Correct.
We're gonna have, I think, close to $110 million of cap.
Love it.
Space.
Hope you spend it well.
I mean, we won't, but we'll spend it.
That's fair.
And what's great about what the team's doing right now is it's a good foundation. Now we got to go spend a bunch of money, and I'm excited for the offseason. And we're 4-4 and leading the division.
Right.
I don't know what else to put there.
Life is good.
Like as good as a Falcon. Will we make the playoffs? Probably not. But we're in it for this long.
Yeah.
Hey, that's all I can ask for. And then, like we said, Jeff Wilson went to the Dolphins. Yeah. You get McCaffrey.
Right. McCaffrey to the 49ers.
Kind of don't need Wilson. And if you do, then you get some other problems. So that's a lot of the trade talk.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you had. What did we miss? Did we miss anything big?
I think those were the biggest ones.
I mean, McCaffrey got traded 2 weeks ago, so technically that one's. But he
Let's
made
go to Schefter on the twits.
He made a huge impact this weekend. Dude was unbelievable. Threw a touchdown, caught a touchdown.
Hey,
ran all over the damn field.
There were a record 10 trades made today, the most ever made on NFL Trade Day.
Yeah.
Welcome.
I think that's set up for entertainment purposes.
Let's see. Let's go through them. Bills acquire Marlowe from the Falcons for a 7th round, 2023 7th round pick. He's the guy who got burnt deep on that Hail Mary. I love it. Get rid of him.
Yep.
Can't fail like that. I don't know why the Bills would
there's,
pick him up. Just extra depth, I guess.
Oh, that was the one that I saw. Hines from the Colts to the Bills. That was a big pickup. Have him on a couple of fantasy teams, and I think he's immediately in Buffalo.
I dropped him.
So
Here it is. Get rid of Zach Moss and a conditional 6th for Hines. I think that's a win-win for both.
Yeah.
Just not really great fits in the systems that they were in at that point.
Mm-hmm. Hines is just playing behind the best back in the NFL, or one of. And
so you think Hines starts over Singletary?
Yeah, I mean, I think he sees significant time pretty quick.
So
I don't think they make the trade if they didn't plan on playing him.
I would agree.
That's
really it, though.
That was
that's really it.
The one that I saw on the way here that I wanted to make sure to add in.
It's a good one. I like it.
All right. Any other news?
No.
I
got nothing.
All right. Jump into picks.
We can jump into picks or bathroom break. One of the two.
Do you need a bathroom break?
I did need a bathroom break.
Well, then we should probably take a bathroom break.
I'm gonna put it.
I'll tell you, like I tell my 3-year-old, you don't have to tell me if you're going to the bathroom.
I'll just tell you, but like I kind of do because you can't just like get up and walk away.
You can.
Good.
I'll assume one of two things.
I'm out.
I'm out. I'm out.
Are the shots? I'm out.
2 bananas in one day. I'm out. He's back.
And we're back, folks. And we're back. All right. What do we got? NFL recap?
You got a boring
or
week.
NFL picks? What do we got? All right. Yeah, not a very high flying week.
No.
Thursday night football.
The 4th, 5th best team in football doesn't get to play this week.
The fourth, 5th best.
4th, 5th. It's like
There was a tie somewhere.
There's slash.
Got it. The number 1 team in the NFL gets to play a bottom.
The worst team in the NFL.
Yeah. So Eagles at the Texans.
Thursday night football, a thriller.
13-point favorites.
Yeah, it's 13.5 on FanDuel, and my guess is continuing to go up. I don't know what number they would have.
It was at 13. I typed this in this morning.
Yeah, I looked at it this afternoon. It was 13.5.
So it's going up. 44.5 total.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me Eagles under.
I am on the same page as you. I think that Houston can score, and Philly is only going to play so hard, and it's Thursday night football.
2014, it's a wrap. Move on.
All right. Ryan has the Eagles, and the over. For those.
Vikings Commanders. All right. Tyler Heineke playing at home. Going to lose.
All he does is win.
Yeah, well, against the Vikings.
Yeah, Minnesota finds a way to win. 3.5. The old hook number there.
Hooker.
Leaving. I mean, that feels like a trap.
Oh, it's a trap. So it's 43.5.
Which side's it trapping on?
I don't know. But 43.5 is.
Give me the new look Vikes. Cover the 3.5. The Commanders have not looked good. They have found a way to win with Heineke, grossly enough.
They're going to score 17.
And I will take the over in this game.
Give me the over. I mean,
and everybody is on the over in that. And are you going to do it? Will he do it? How? How's your hook feel? You were a hooker earlier. Good luck. There it is. Yeah, everybody's absolutely on the Vikings.
Let's ride.
3.5, and everyone is on the over
Goon Squad
at
fans.
43.5.
Let's ride.
Let's ride.
Oh, God, just gives CBGBs every time. Like, go. God. Wilson, you are just the worst.
Up, we've got your hot Atlanta Falcons.
Atlanta Falcons playing at home against the Chargers. Both teams love to find a way to lose. And the most mysterious.
Who can do it better?
Hey, we did it better we did it worse last week.
Home game for you. Not a good look.
Does it matter? I mean, it's better than LA.
I don't know. Well, I mean, better than a home game for the Chargers.
Yeah. So I mean,
yeah. That's why I think you're screwed.
Yeah, I know. I get it. Yeah, give me the Chargers will win the game.
Oh,
the better roster.
Wow.
Just a better roster. Well, I don't know what to say there. Just better roster. We can't stop the pass. We have, I think, 3 healthy DBs.
They don't have any healthy receivers, though.
Something's got to
give. Mike Williams out. Keenan Allen out.
No, Keenan Allen's back.
Is he?
He's on my fantasies thing, and it says healthy.
He's finally healthy for a couple plays. It's before he hurts his other hamstring.
Okay. He's back. I mean, we don't have any DBs to hold him. We just traded one away who got burnt. So it's not going well for us there.
What's going on with Terrell this year?
Your
boy.
Going back to the mean a little bit. He's gotten burnt a couple times, but overall his stats are solid.
Still good.
I mean, they're just not. He never got recognition for all last year being, the best corner in the league, but
-3.
That one's a tough one. I don't see either team winning more than 3. Like if the Falcons won, it's by 3. Chargers win, somehow weird by 3.
All right.
Can I do the push? Can I put my bet on a tie? Yeah, might as well. Give me Atlanta. That's fine.
I want to see if that line's moved at all.
That's fair. It's probably a good point. See old Donkey Kong.
Still at 3. Still at 3 with money on the Chargers at 3.
I bet Donkey Kong's it on the hook.
Give me.
I bet they do.
Yeah, let me see. Oh, I definitely want the hook if I can get it because I like Falcons.
It's going to be a hook.
You know what? I'm doing it for you.
No, it's 3. Money on 3, 49.5. You can do it?
I'm going to do it for you.
Oh, yeah. Bring some of that cowboy charm over here.
Mm-hmm. 49.5. Over! That's what it feels like. Makes me feel like.
I mean, we still average 25 points. Chargers are going to score. We can't stop anybody. Go with the under then.
Doing the under.
All right. Ballsy. Don't understand that lineup.
That's fine.
But good for you.
Yeah. Next up,
you.
Sunday Night Football.
Could be why your NFL percentage is low, but it's fine.
Chiefs off the
Sunday Football.
Chiefs off the bye.
This is a lot. Is this a lot of points to you? 12.5 against the Titans.
Yes.
Still 12.5.
It is a lot.
It just seems like a lot of points.
The only reason it's not
for
is
a
because
team
the
that can
Chiefs are
run the ball.
coming,
Yeah, but I mean,
and the
Titans are
Chiefs'
gonna
defense has
run.
been better this year, and the Titans' defense.
Henry's getting 30 carries.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
I just think that's a lot of points, personally. Chiefs won the game. So that's cool. That's gonna happen. I do think the Titans cover. I don't see the Chiefs blowing them out because they won't get enough possessions, unless they're coming out of the bye and are just executing on all levels, which is why it's this way.
Yep.
Fine, but I just don't see that.
Okay.
Titans are Henry's getting hot, and if he gets 30 carries, he's unstoppable. Total at 46.5.
46.5. Ryan and I both on the under.
Well, that's probably because Tennessee doesn't score more than 17.
Yep.
So there it is. Give me the under.
Chiefs aren't scoring 30.
No.
All right. Very good.
24-17.
I've got the Chiefs
Lock it.
covering. You and Ryan both have the Titans covering. We're all on the under.
Ravens.
A couple different chances there to goon lock, and
We didn't do it.
went the other way. It's my fault this week. Ravens Saints. Ryan's got the Ravens covering the 2.5.
He didn't do it. I thought he would have.
That's this game's home game for the Saints in the Superdome, and he's got the under 48.5.
It's at 3. DraftKings.
Yep. How's it feel?
Ravens under. Added time for get the defense down. They're not. Saints aren't scoring.
I think Baltimore covers the 2.5. I think they win the game ultimately. And you like the under? I like the over in this game. The Saints seem to hit a little bit of a hot streak last week. They got Michael Thomas back. Dalton seems to be in pretty good control at offense. So if they can protect him, which is the big thing this week, and they can run the football, again, another big thing, you have to commit to the run. Both teams, the Ravens, have to complete the ball down the field. Should probably be an under, but
okay,
I'm going against the grain.
Oh, okay.
Another chance to goon lock, negated by me. So we've all got Baltimore all covering 2.5. You guys are on the under. I am on the over. Down to best bets.
What in the hell?
Moneyline lock. What's going on?
Did you know that the Seahawks are dogs to the Cards?
Yeah. Bet your buttons I do. Do you want that as your money line
in
lock?
this NFL?
Or as your spread lock?
Go ahead. I don't care. Pick one. What in the hell?
I don't want to steal games from you.
No,
I don't want to be accused of stealing
whatever
game.
one you are going to do, I'll do. But I don't. I
All right.
really don't care. Seahawks are not. What?
Yeah. So I'll
They debatably the hottest team in the NFL right now.
I'll take Seattle.
The Eagles.
I'll take the
stuff.
points. You can have
Fine, go ahead.
Seattle plus 114.
Give me all that.
Is that what they are on?
115.
Yeah. Okay.
That's just
And
ludicrous.
Ryan is taking so you've got Seattle plus 115. Ryan's taking the Jags plus 106.
They're 110 over here, but
Against who?
Raiders.
It's the Raiders.
I know, the Jags.
Don't
Yeah,
trust
that's
either
gonna
one of those two teams.
Do you know how many turnovers are going to be in that
I'm
game?
staying away from that. As
Over
far
under
as
6 turnovers.
Far as I can get away from that. The Rams are getting 2.5 points against Tampa this week.
Tampa at home.
Tampa's at home.
Both teams
Teams are desperate.
Yes.
The Rams are worse. They're a worse team at home. There's no atmosphere there. I think they are more talented. And as long as Cup plays,
Jefferson back? I think he's back this week.
I'm going to take, yes. He played last week, actually, and had no targets.
Oh. So he wasn't 100% back.
55 snaps.
Your second best receiver got 0 targets?
Yeah.
That's
So I'm taking the Rams at plus 124.
I like how our money line logs are all pluses.
Yeah. That's just kind of how it. There's any of the other stuff is too high. There's not any. Like unless you're taking Tampa, unless you're taking Arizona.
You could took Vikings at minus 175.
That's
over the Commanders, but
I would definitely. That's smarter for those out there.
It is smarter, but not as fun.
Right. Spread lock. Ryan has the Dolphins minus 5.
The what?
Still minus 5?
Yeah.
Against
on DraftKings there. Against the Bears. I don't know how when they just loaded up.
Yeah. It's only 5. You know what you're saying? You can't believe it's only 5?
I
Bears
I can't believe it didn't move.
Yeah.
By the way, Eagles are at 14 now. On DraftKings.
We got in at 13.5. Look at this.
That's what I'm just saying.
It's still 13.5 on FanDuel. Get the 13.5 while you can on FanDuel. Over under lock. Ryan has Rams, Bucks under 42.5. 2 disappointing teams this year. You would never think the line would be, or the total would be that low.
I don't trust them enough.
Wouldn't trust them
to take that.
I don't trust either side's
so
anything.
I can't.
So
I can't touch that. I couldn't touch it.
Don't touch it. Let's see.
I just can't land on a spread right now.
I've got
there's a lot of hooks this week.
Yeah.
Good for them. Good for them.
Do you like the Rams?
I do.
2.5.
And as crazy as this one sounds, I kind of like the Packers.
Against Detroit?
Mm-hmm.
What are they getting?
3.5.
They're getting 3.5.
Yeah, that's kind of the hook thing, though.
Green Bay minus 3.5. Detroit?
Yeah, go ahead and give me that too. I think losing Hawkinson's going to screw up their flow on offense.
Fair enough. They can't stop anybody on defense anyway. But maybe the Packers.
That's not the question. Well,
I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll see.
It's not wrong. Would you?
All right.
Seattle?
Yep, I've got Seattle plus 2. You've got Green Bay minus 3.5. Ryan's got the Dolphins minus 5. Ryan's got the Rams, Bucks under 4.5. I am going to go to that Carolina-Cincinnati game, 42.5. I'm going to take the over. Doesn't sound classy, but Cincinnati's coming off a fairly embarrassing performance. Carolina doesn't have the pass rush that the Browns do. And PJ Walker's been more than Carolina expected as far as being able to control that offense.
I'll tell you one thing, dude has a cannon.
Yeah, and backup running backs have both been good.
17.
So I see this being like a 31-21 game.
I could easily see that.
So yeah, 42.5 just to me as being too low for the abilities of those two offenses.
Titans Chiefs 46. I don't know what it is on FanDuel. Oh wait, don't we?
46.5.
Yeah, give me the 46.5. Go ahead and go under on that one. Just follow what I said up above.
Okay.
Little
perfect. DGen pick. Ryan's got a good one. He's got Carolina plus 290 against Cincinnati, who showed some weakness this last night on Monday Night Football. So can definitely see, if Carolina is to be competitive, which they have since they traded away everyone. But I need to find myself a good parlay now since
I found one. I just have to go to FanDuel to confirm the odds. NFL, where are you?
I just not seeing anything I love.
Give me Seahawks Vikings plus 237. I may or may not be doubling down.
Oh, hey.
That's all right. Just copy and paste. It's fine. On the money line luck. I'm doing something crazy. We've never done it before. I just feel
Plus 237?
Yeah.
And I have Seattle and the Rams, my money line and spread lock at plus 379.
I see what you're doing. Look at us. We're going over. It's fine. Shea shots on the line.
Yes. So
Good time.
here we are. Picks are in. Maction tonight. Release 12 minutes ago. The release of
Oh, yeah.
The-
Let's talk about it. We got time.
football standings for college football. And there's like football every night of the week from
For like
here
27 days,
until
wasn't it?
like Christmas.
I know, and I can get behind all of it.
To mention, you got to sprinkle in a little World Series.
Yeah. Just
I mean, it's just something on TV all the time right now, which is nice.
Annalise doing what they do. Oh, they're gonna do a whole show that started at 6. Is what they're gonna do. Oh, that's a bummer.
So it's not out yet.
Mm-mm.
All right.
But we will tweet it.
It'll be different next week anyway. 1 and 2 will not be the same. So
You're not wrong. There will be a change. At the 1 and
predictions
2.
on tonight's.
Well, yeah. Let's get into that. I have to mark it down. We're doing.
How far do you want to go? Want to go 6 or 8?
Let's do.
We can do 8.
Let's do
Shitty shot for
Bo Strong.
most. So like if I say 1,
Yeah,
they come out
yeah,
at 4.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
minus
I
3.
got you.
You add up all of your differences.
Yeah. I'm down. I'm down. I think
Number 1.
Georgia.
You and I both agree on that.
2.
We're going to put these.
Go to the overall.
The
Where's
notes.
that? You can put it in somewhere. Just fucking randomly.
Right over here.
Up the F-bomb. I apologize to all those listeners that don't like the F-bomb, but you be it. Yeah.
All right. 2.
Tennessee.
I think it'll be Ohio State.
That's fair. You go first.
Tennessee.
Ohio State.
4.
This is where it starts to get interesting. I'm going to go Clemson. Because I don't think they're going to go Big Ten.
And I think it'll go Michigan.
Yeah, I'd agree. And I'm going Bama.
TCU.
Yeah, that's fair. I'll go TCU after Bama. Now, what was the team is going to be? Yeah.
Oregon.
You think?
I test.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
They're only a Pac-12 team with a good loss.
And
I mean,
they've also won 7 in a row.
Right.
Yeah. I'll ride with Oregon. They also were ranked higher earlier in the year too.
So not a ton different. I have Ohio State
Ranked
will
high.
be
What's the
second.
tiebreaker?
Tennessee will be third. You have Tennessee and Ohio State flipped at 3. We both have Clemson, Michigan at 4 and 5. You have Bama at 6. I have TCU at 6. We both have the opposite at 7, and we both have Oregon at 8.
We're going to tie. One of those flips is not happen. So
It's going to happen one way, not the other, you're thinking.
So
I think this is how they will do it. Do I think?
Hey, how about this? Here it is. Okay, obviously if one of us wins, we win.
Right.
But if we do tie, if they pull in a random team into the top 8, we both have a shot.
That's fair. Yeah, because we both agree that these are the top 8.
These are the top 8.
So do you want to talk tiebreaker as like 9-10?
We
We're
could.
going to rank top 25.
Yeah, that's true.
So who are your next 2?
Oh, that's so tough. USC and Ole Miss.
In that order?
Yeah, eye test. Oh my gosh, you flipped it.
So now we have the same top 10.
This is gonna go. Wow, let's go. Let's just leave it there.
Okay.
God, that's I don't want to get deeper. There's no point.
Well, let's do 12 since we both agree
Fine.
that a 12-team playoff would be fantastic.
Fine.
Okay.
Whew. UCLA and Illinois.
Damn you. You know what the worst part about Illinois is?
They're not good.
You know who their loss is?
No.
Indiana.
What?
Their only loss.
Sucks for you, Illinois, because
If you're a loss from Indiana into being in the top 10 for sure.
yeah,
Probably not much higher, but
no, because you'd have to prove it at some point.
like you're not going to be in the top 8,
No, but
but
wow.
they're going to be in the Ole Miss USC.
So we got to 12. Congrats.
We got to
did
12,
it, guys.
and that didn't change
And
it.
it didn't do anything. Oh, here it is.
Here's the problem.
Here it is.
Oh,
Here it is.
reveal?
Live reveal. Come on, load faster. It's not.
It's not loading.
All right. Whoa.
Uh-oh.
Undefeated Tennessee earned the number 1 spot.
Oh, wow. All right. So
Followed by number 2, Ohio State. Georgia, Clemson. All right, so you want to put what they did on?
right. So they've got
We've got Tennessee, Ohio State,
I absolutely
Georgia.
love that, by the way.
Clemson, Michigan,
Wait, Tennessee, Ohio State, Georgia,
Clemson,
Michigan.
Michigan,
Okay, nailed that.
Bama,
Damn
TCU. Number 8 is Oregon, which is funny because this thing that popped up, let's see, number 7 was.
you. Oh, nice.
It's the first article. Okay, I just went to the first article. Let me get to the actual. What the hell is it? Now I can't find it. This is stupid. Wow. All right. Tennessee, Ohio State, Georgia, Clemson, Michigan, Bama, TCU, Oregon.
Whoa. Who was it? 9 was
USC.
Yep.
Whoa! What the LSU
Is
has
what?
10?
What?
Then
Oh.
Ole Miss, then UCLA. LSU? A 2-loss LSU?
Wow.
Huh? Excuse me?
No love in Illinois, huh? I mean, I don't believe
Illinois is down to 16.
it. Yeah, it's right where they belong.
I just don't understand how you can put a 2-loss anyone over a 1-loss anyone at this point right now.
Right.
At this point,
At this point.
there's no way.
Right.
Huh. Okay. Sure. How'd it work out?
You won going away. You hit the flips.
Ooh. Well, there it is. If I hit,
Yeah, I mean, you hit USC, Ole Miss, which is what we flipped. You hit TCU, Alabama, and we both missed 10. I mean, I had Ohio State correct, but
flips.
yeah, I mean, I had them at 3rd. So, there it is.
Let's get
There
it.
it is.
There it is. All right.
Yeah,
That was fun.
Oregon,
I like how it came out
There's
right.
the top.
Like we literally delayed it to the 12.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. USC was 10. No, USC was 9. LSU was 10. I can't believe it. Unbelievable. And then we had
Ole Miss, UCLA.
Ole Miss, which, I mean, here's the thing, is like,
It's the LSU that screws that up. I don't understand.
right. But let's, leaving the show here, 7 minutes left. Or less. I need to give a quick shout out in college football to Spencer Petras. They played a terrible Northwestern team, but that guy played quarterback this week.
Yeah, he did.
We've been very hard on him. Everyone has been very hard on him. He made reads. He was poised in the pocket, and he was accurate. He delivered on time for most of the game. Now it helps when you have time to throw
And you're
and
also
stuff like that.
not-
He has every reason to have no confidence right now. He hasn't played well. He's been shit. And
By a lot of people.
rightfully so in some aspects
Including
as
us.
far as performance.
absolutely.
But I will give credit when a guy steps on. He did what he needed to do against a bad team. Hopefully that moves into Purdue and you see the same type of thing. I see that game as going over because I think both offenses are going to be successful in some
You
ways.
think this clicked Iowa's offense?
It's definitely not going to hurt anything.
Well, I mean,
offensive
no.
line was much more physical, which they needed to be, and they'll need to be going down. It's not like they have a juggernaut schedule coming down the stretch. They needed to win that football game. They need to beat Purdue.
This is a prove it
But
to me.
um,
Congrats. You beat
it
up
was the
Northwestern.
first time. But Petras didn't look good against South
No,
State.
I'm not talking about
He didn't
Petras.
look good,
I'm
right,
talking about the O-line.
right.
Congratulations. You
Yeah.
had confidence. You knew you were better than them.
So made a lot of good
Purdue?
throws and didn't sit on reads, and that's what I liked.
Okay, fine. Yeah, prove it
So-
against Purdue. Let's see what happens.
100%. 100%.
All
Just
right.
had to get that in.
Hey, why don't you pull your shitty?
I hope,
Might as well do it live. I mean, it was fucking. We got the answer.
Does this one feel different?
Does it feel different?
Oh, it feels like
Does it feel different to me because I'm not
Gee,
pineapple. But hey,
as we look at this, though, like I look down, and if you're the reason I brought this up is if you're Iowa, whatever Iowa's been this year, great
Yeah.
defense, terrible offense. Once I get past the top 8,
mm-hmm.
Ohio State, Georgia, Clemson, Michigan, Bama, TCU, Oregon, Iowa's not scared. Iowa is not scared to play any of those schools.
defensively, no.
Like,
They're all
Because
to play anyone but
right,
Northwestern.
but I'm just saying, general, like that's how much parity is
Yeah,
college football.
I agree.
Like Iowa's, they went toe to toe with Illinois, who's 16th. Clemson isn't scaring anyone off the field on either side of the ball,
Anywhere.
and they're 4th,
Yeah. Third.
3rd. Tennessee, Ohio State, Georgia, Clemson.
Ohio State, Georgia.
So
Ohio State, Georgia, Clemson. You said Clemson.
Tennessee's 1.
Oh. Huh.
Yeah.
Huh.
like
It's because I don't understand how Tennessee's.
that's just, I mean, it just tells me a lot about college football. Is like Ole Miss, yeah, they've won some games, but like they've been impressive against teams that matter. LSU, they've got 2 bad losses.
Yeah.
Not bad, just not competitive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
UCLA's.
I do believe though that this 1 through 5 is all media politic BS for this week.
Mhm.
There's no way Georgia